Exactly. When myself a big up all the shot of them, load the way smart of them, street sweeper rhythm. That was some of my pennings in this. So yeah, so. At the latter part of high school, just kind of transitioned into a career, you know.
Okay.
After meeting Sprague Benz through a schoolmate.
Okay. So that's basically like where you really start off as assassin.
Yeah.
Where did you get the name assassin?
High school, you know, beating the desk and, you know, clashing and things like that, you know what I mean? So.
Did somebody named
No, well, it had a couple of names. Like they used to call, like from first farm, second farm. They used to call me Vicious, but of course, you know, there's another artist by the name of Vicious.
Okay.
And then they used to call me Wicked, and then another artist named Wicked. And then in Kentucky, they used to call me Blue Nike, as a matter of fact, like a blue Nike here.
Okay.
Because I had a t-shirt that when we were doing stencils in art and craft, I did a stencil of the Nike tick, and I did a blue, like a blue Nike tick and a t-shirt. Yeah, so they used to call me Blue Nike. And then by the time I got to fifth form, you know, I got the name Assassin, like lyrical assassin, like you know, because it was just like, you know, kill after kill, you know. Yeah.
So how did then the agent
Sasco.
Yeah, agent Sasco.
All right. So the agent part of it, I started the agent part in 2006. Because 2005 was a really rough year for me personally, you know, emotionally. Like, you know, I became a father in that year, and you know, I lost my mother that year. My mother died in 2005 as well. You know, my debut album came out in 2005. You know, I mean, it was just a lot. You know, I was what, 23 at the time, and just going through all of that. And so, by the end of the year, well, the day after my mother died. You know, I remember I used to have like braids or whatever, so, you know, I cut my hair the day after my mother died, and, you know, I really just was looking for a way to, I guess, you know, rejuvenate myself and just motivate myself to get going for 2006. So when the year 2006 came, you know, I said, okay, I'm going to be Agent 006 for the year 2006. That's going to be like, you know, the persona that's going to get me through, you know, this time. And then, you know, so, you know, we did that for 2006, and then by the time 2007 came about, then you can't be Agent 007 because that's James Bond, so we moved to Agent 00, as in Agent 00, like, you know, infinity, like, you know, whatever. And so that's where the agent part come from. Then now, the Sasco part now, Sasco, some people used to just call me Sasco as like a derivative of assassin. You know, like some people say assassin. As a matter of fact, assassin you have some people call me Jassassin, Sasco, Jassas, you know what I mean? Assassin, you know what I mean? So Sasco was one variation of that. So I just put the two together after a while, you know, for a number of reasons too, like, you know what I mean, search engine wise, like, you know, assassin, you know, in terms of Google or whatever, if you Google assassin, it's, you know, so much things. Chinese assassin, you know what I mean? Chinese assassin, Assassin's Creed, Assassin the movie, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, Agent Sasco is more, you know, kind of like one stop, you know what I mean? And then outside of that, you know, after 9/11, pretty much, you know, the world kind of got a little, you know, a little bit more sensitive towards certain things, and, you know, especially what we're seeing now with, you know, so much, you know, terror and this and that and shooters and blah blah blah, you know, the name assassin just kind of by itself, you know, that sometimes just was a little bit too jarring for some applications, but I haven't divorced the name because, you know, it's still very useful, you know, when you're ready to kill a son, you know, assassin, you know.
You have brothers?
Yeah, I have enough siblings, man. I have 3 brothers and 5 sisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big family.
My brother was actually my manager for quite some time. My older brother, you know, we also had a label together, Boardhouse Records and things. So yeah, I have 3 brothers and 5 sisters.
So your brothers is also in the music business.
So like I said, my older brother used to be my manager, and we also had a Boardhouse together. Yeah, and then I have another brother in New York as well who is a designer, Carcel Franciva.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes you see me rock like it have the logo with it like a upside down triangle and thing. Doing really well too. You know, big up Carcel, and then I have another brother Paul who lives here in Jamaica, like in Black River. Him drive trucks and thing.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then my sister them now. I have a sister in London. I have my other sister them at Jamaica. One, you know, big family. My father never did a joke.
Okay. My next question is, who's like one of your influences?
One of?
Okay. Name any amount you can.
Of course. Well, first of all, after you know, I fell in love with music like, you know, while I was very young. You know, I was born 1982, so by the time, you know, I'm 4 years old, 85, 86, them time there, you know, people like Professor Nuts and Papa San. I think Professor Nuts is one of my biggest influences because of just how, you know, seamless I find his writing to be, but so real. So, you know, it's just like, I think it's just genius how he's able to capture, you know, so much of the culture within his music, and still, you know, it's jovial at the same time, and you know what I mean. So like that's one of the first people I started admiring, and up to this day, like it's not like I outgrew his work. Like even now I can, you know, search out YouTube and find a Professor Nuts and that's whole a vibe. So like Professor Nuts, Papa San, Lieutenant Stitchy, seeing remember like, you know, and after a while it started to move from direct artists but just to the art form, and so you might find like somebody like Baby Wayne. It might not be my favorite artist per se, but I respect him work just the same, you know what I mean? You know, Tipali and rapper, not trouble we, do not trouble we, you know what I mean? Then even though I never knew Major Worries at the time, because it was before, you know, I could understand what I go on, but you know, like Major Worries, when I get to know about him, you know, I research him work and study that. You know, people like, you know, Tiger still, like just the music in general, like anybody who did music on a level, but you know, my main people were then Bojo, Bounty Killer, Spragga Benz, you know, by the time I got to high school, and even though he's not an artist, like Dave Kelly also was very, you know, a big influence because of what he was doing with Madhouse, and you know, like just production wise, and you know what I mean, the writing and thing. So, you know, but the more I think about it now, even though you have those specific people, you know, I really, you know, just I'm a big fan of reggae and dancehall, and so it's not about the individuals necessarily, but just the art in general, you know. So, you know, Mango Man might have a song, I'm just, you know, I would say, yo, this song is wicked, and I'm a fan of the song, and I'm a fan of Mango Man by extension of the song, you know what I mean? What
made you like say, yeah, I'm gonna take this, you know, music thing as a career now, you know?
Oh.
This is how me I go, you know, make my living.
So, what, you know, as I say, you know, I've been DJing for months, and it's been a part of my life, like 100%. Like I would spend just so many hours in the day just thinking about music and trying to make up songs and just DJing. Like
that's when you're in high school.
Yeah, like no, from growing up, like primary school and thing. Okay. But here's the thing, all along that time, I used to dream about being an artist, but not to really do it. But just to dream of it because it's something that I love so much, but feeling like I wasn't even worthy to do this thing because I have so much, just, you know, such a respect for the art form. I think like I was never going to be good enough to really do it professionally. Okay. You know, so by I got to high school, just because you know, I spent so much time doing it and like just non-stop practice or whatever, you know, I was becoming really good, you know, just because I love this thing so much. So, you know, I started doing clashing and thing, and you know, at high school, and then
when would you really say like you start take your career, like took off?
But I'm getting to that. So what really happened is when I finished, so in Jamaica you do 5 years of high school, and then you can do 2 optional years, what you call sixth form. Okay. So when I finished the 5 years and I graduated, I went on to sixth form. A bridging of mine now, with Spragga Neville Briggy, what, you know, when same going to music now, him leave high school after the 5 years. So I'm still in school and he's pursuing music. So I used to, at this time, I'm still thinking I'm just going to finish sixth form and go to university and do mass communication, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to still be close to music, but not, you know, not as a performer necessarily. Anyhow, so I used to like invite him to the school and say, yo, you know, I have this song that I made up this week, you know, you can have it, because he's the one pursuing music. So it happened that one of the songs that I gave to him, he gave it to Spraga. And Spraga ended up performing the song, and, you know, through that I got to meet Spraga. And then from there is when it started to,
So
it moved from...
Spraga actually performed your song first?
Yeah, for Steely and Cleve. Well, myself a big up all the shot of them, load the way smart of them, street sweeper rhythm. That was, yeah, that was some of my pennings in this. So yeah, so after that song came out, I remember I was listening to the radio one day, and what's his name? Colin Hines was playing on the radio. That time, every Saturday I used to sit down and record like whatever was going on the radio, you know what I mean? So anyway, so, you know, Colin Hines playing the same street sweeper rhythm, and he come and say, oh my God, this song by Spraga Benz, you know what I mean? This is incredible, Ray, you know, wicked lyrics and whatever. So me hearing that was like, all right, if somebody like Colin Hines, I mean, you know, just, you know, top class disc jock with so much experience, if he's feeling that, then it means that I'm halfway there already, because one of the big question marks about music is if you're really good enough for the big time, because everybody thinks they're good enough. But, you know, how do you really know? So hearing Colin Hines say that about that song, and of course having somebody like Spraga, who is, you know, one of my DJ them, perform the song, it told me that, okay, then my material is good enough for take it, you know what I mean, take it on. So Spraga introduced me to Donovan Jeremy in a Penthouse, and, you know, introduced me to a couple more producers and things, and so that's how I got, you know, ushered into the music as a profession, you know what I mean? So I really tried it as a summer job, because I was still in high school, so like I still had 1 year of sixth form while I was going to the studio and things like that.